Alright, what is up fam? We're back for another video, and in today's video we are talking about fuel sending units. So, there's a lot of information already out there, right? You guys have probably already found about the floats going bad in these, or the F1 fuse in here going bad and you need to replace that, or just connect it across, right? Well, that wasn't the case with this one. So I want to help you guys out who are having the issue that I'm having, where none of those are the issues and you have some other issue and you don't know what. So basically what I found out is that this resin, you got resin on top here, and over the many years, it can separate from your outer plastic here. And if it does that, and then water gets in here, it seeps around. This is what I think happened to mine, is it sunk around and then got into the connection and ruined the connection. So if you look over here, I have a little diagram set up, and I'll help you out here, get you a little closer. So as you can see here, this is the whole unit, right? And then this line in the middle here represents your your circuit board that has all your gadgets on there. So basically, if this is capped with resin, I'll do some blue up here to show the resin. So say your resin's full to like right here, right? That's all resin. All this under here is all buried. And what happened was your water comes in, seeps around the side here, gets in, and then goes and messes up this connection here. This red you're seeing is basically just a bolt with a nut, super simple, connected and soldered to your board right here. All right, this is your board with all the fuses and stuff on it. So it comes in and it connects here with like your normal circle little wire connector, right? And if that gets water underneath there and corrodes that, you'll have no signal through here. So how I figured that out was I actually opened up my, let me put you back over here. I cut a hole, right? Cut a hole in, well, first off, I took this off. And if you guys haven't gotten this off, you kind of push it up and work it off this way and over the wires. It is kind of hard on the wires. You kind of bend them up a little bit. Be careful with that. It is not the easiest thing, but it's definitely doable. So push it up and off, and then underneath, you kind of see here, but I do have some better videos to show you. You can cut a little hole here, and you can access in there to start testing and seeing what exactly your problem is. Now, as far as for cutting the hole, what I did was I used, let me get the thing real quick. Alright, the plastic is pretty thick on here, so what I did use was a Dremel and then one of these little cutting wheels, right? And I did my first 2 cuts horizontally, and I couldn't really start going vertical because there's a little lip here, and I didn't want to cut that lip. So what I did was I took a paint stripping heat gun and a razor blade. I heated up the razor blade, and I also heated up the plastic a little bit, made it, don't get it too hot, you don't want it melting or do anything crazy, but heat it up, soften it up, right? And then heat up your blade, and then you can go cut right in there, and it actually made it really easy. So I kind of recommend doing it that way, maybe not even mess with the cutoff wheel, because it melts it, and it's kind of just like melts and pushes it, and it builds up like, you know, like a little roost, or like a little mountain, and, you know, off the edge. Then you got to chip that off, which isn't a huge deal, but the knife method worked out really good. So I recommend that. Anyway, once you get off in there, then you'll see in this little video here, you got some connectors in there, and you can see where the fuse comes through, which I believe is the fuse. I actually didn't think I had a fuse on this one, but that has resistance on there. So it's not a fuse, I'm sorry, yeah, it's a resistor, right? So I don't remember how much resistance it did have, but basically I tested those first, and I had continuity between that with just a little bit of resistance, right? And then I tested from the left side terminal, that one sticking through, to my pins here, and got nothing, right? But then I noticed that wire all the way to the left here, and tested that one, and it did connect all the way through here, so I knew that one was live. And that was my first hint. So, just to show you better what I'm saying here, I first tested from here to here, and got my little bit of resistance. Then I tested from here to my plug, and I believe I got nothing. And then I tested from this side to my plug, and I got continuity. So I knew that this was the line that was broken somewhere, which ended up being this connection like I was telling you. So how I fixed this, I'll put you back over here. How I fixed this now, you get to play a little dentist, right? Dentist Dan for the day. So you basically get your Dremel with like a tip like that on there. Or this one helped too for getting real close in there. Both of these worked like a charm. Recommend it too. And you get in there and you just start digging away at this resin on top and trying to find those wires. Like a little archaeologist. Dentist, archaeologist, whatever you want to call it. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to be. So dig in there and start digging until you find one of those cables. So how I did it, like I started digging right here, and I got down and I found actually just like the outer rubber, right, of the first wire. And then I started moving over here, and don't be afraid, don't be worried, because you're gonna go down there, you're not just gonna go straight through wire, right? You're gonna be going and you're gonna see a little bit of copper showing, you know you got to your wire. So then you start going a little to the edge, right? You start digging around it, don't be digging right into it, right? So I went down, I found some copper, and I just wanted to make sure, you want to make sure, you know, you're finding where your break actually is, right? So when I first found copper here, I took out my multimeter and I tested from here to here, right, to the end of the plug. I got continuity, so I was like, great, let me keep going. And I kept going, and eventually I got over here. This is your little pin here, and I went down and I found that, and that's a different color metal. So I was like, okay, interesting, let's test that. And I tested from that to the plug, and there was no continuity. But when I tested inside to there was, right? So now I found the other side of it. So you basically just keep digging and uncovering all that. And then once you get it all uncovered, and you don't have to Dremel all the way through everything and like really close to your wires and all that stuff. Once you get close enough, you see some metal, you can like get as close as you feel comfortable. Then you come in with like something like this, and you could just kind of push and pick off and chip off the rest of the resin that's near it. So you can make it nice and clean and get it how I got it here. You can see in these pictures. Now, once you get in there and you got it all cleaned up, now you need to fix the connection. And you can't just go in there and solder it, right? Because obviously you're going to be melting your plastic and you're going to be melting your resin. That's not going to be good. You don't want that. So what you're going to want to do is get a low temp solder. And I have this in the description probably. Here's a picture of it. And you can get that, and that will basically melt with just a heat gun. Okay, and you still don't want to be heating it up inside here. So what I did was I took a spoon and I heated it up on the spoon. And then I dropped it on in here. And it is important to know that you do need a flux with this resin. So I didn't have any flux, but and if you're like me and you don't have any flux, you got a lemon around the house. I used a lemon, that's what Grok told me, and the AI thing, right? And that worked out great. Really liked the lemon idea. I'll probably use lemons forever. So basically I just squirted some lemon juice in there, flicked it out, and then when I had my solder heated up and ready to go, I just dropped it in there, and it like instantly welded everything together. And I even missed a little bit on the first one, as you can see. But when I went and tested it, it was a perfect connection. There's no resistance. There's the same resistance as the wires touching each other. Worked out great. I did add a little bit more just to make sure that it was a good connection, but that's all you gotta do. And then just go ahead and fill it back in. I just filled it back in with some JB Weld Quick or some other type of epoxy. I didn't even fill it all the way up. Probably be a good idea to fill it all the way up and even fill around the edges where that water was seeping through. I'll probably do that later. But yeah, that's what you gotta do. It's not too hard. It's a little intimidating if you would rather just go spend $100+ for a new used one, right? Because I don't know if they make brand new ones, and if they do, they're probably really expensive. But if you want to take your chances at another one, you could always do that. But I like this because I know it's gonna be solid, it's gonna be fixed, and if it happens again, I know how to fix it again. Maybe I should have done the other side just to make sure, but I think if I seal in these edges really good, then we shouldn't have that issue again. So yeah, this is a, by the way, this is a 1996 Seadoo GTI. Okay, I'm not sure. I think it was like 97 and older. They didn't really have the F1 fuse like the other ones do. That's what the internet said. I don't know if that's true. I couldn't find the F1 fuse on this one. I was looking for that originally. There's a hole here that you can like kind of peek in and look around. I was not seeing it. So I just cut where the other YouTube videos told me to cut, and I found those connections that I can test off of, and I went from there. So good idea if you want to do the same thing. And everybody's sealing these back up. I don't think I'm gonna seal mine back up because like there's already a hole right here from the factory. Okay. This hole is so far up in here, this is gonna be in like the connecting neck of the tank itself. So not a whole lot of gas is getting up there, I don't think. And as I'll show you in a second, this is such a tight fit that I don't think stuff's getting up in there, even if it got up there. So, and the tubes go all the way down, so it's not like this needs to be sealed. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Leaves or makes it for easy testing later if something goes wrong again, God forbid. But yeah, let me show you how I got this sucker out of the tank, because that was kind of difficult because there's very little tolerance going in there. Okay, let me show you. All right, so here's the tank. As you can see, it is a very tight fit. See? And when this is all the way down, it's pretty difficult. So what I did, which made it easy, flat bar. Super helpful. Also super helpful getting your jet pumps off. But I just went in there and started prying up all the way around until I got it off the lips and everything here, and then just pulled it out. And I also did nick my cables here to test them and make sure that their problem wasn't on the cable itself. And then I went and patched that with some liquid electrical tape. So you can see it's what that black stuff is around there. Oh yeah, one more thing. Oh, let me get my pick. All right, one more thing. I don't know how necessary this was, but it seemed like the right thing to do to me. Let me pull this off so I could show you. Try not to break anything. I think I was good there, but that was close. So this little cap here, you can see, it has this little piece sticking out here. Now I'm pretty sure that is to go and hold your circuit board, right, from jiggling around in there. But it doesn't. It just doesn't. I don't know why they missed the mark there. Didn't go long enough in there to hold the circuit board, whatever. So instead of it jiggling around like this, I took some JB Weld tank weld, and it's like a little putty, right? Easy to work with. And I just jammed it in there and welded that sucker to the side. JB Weld tank weld is meant for gasoline and being submerged in gasoline and fixing gas tanks, so this should be fine. And now you can see it does not wiggle. But yeah, hope this video helped you guys. Hope I solved your problems. If it did, please like it, comment. Helps the channel a lot. And I'll try to leave all the information and things that's going to help you down in the description. Do my best with that. And I think that's it for this episode. We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.